another underrated movies video. I'm really excited about this one, and I really loved doing this for the first time the other week. If you didn't see that video, basically underrated movies, this is the second one. I'm going to share with you each time 3 movies I believe are underrated that I personally really enjoy and I think you should check out. Now this could be even an older movie that was kind of, wasn't underrated at the time, but now it's just passed people by and they don't really notice it, or it could just be a movie that I think not many people got noticed or much recognition, or a movie that I think some of you won't have seen and will pass by. But either way, I've got my 3 picks with me today, so hopefully you guys will enjoy these ones, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on them if you have seen them. But yeah, we'll just dive right in. The first one is Lion King 2: Simba's Pride. Now, people hate Disney sequels, well, mostly, and you know what, I agree, most Disney sequels aren't very good, but this one I think is the exception. This, in my opinion, is the greatest Disney sequel they ever made. Whereas when I was a kid, I obviously loved Lion King, and then Lion King 2 came out, and I thought it was amazing. It was brilliant. I loved it as a kid, and still to this day I watch this one, and it still stands up to me as like a great Disney movie. And it's a sequel. It's like, I just love it. I don't know what it is, but I highly recommend this sequel if you haven't seen it. Now, I will say the opening to this movie is incredible. It gives me goosebumps. Now, of course, it doesn't beat the opening of The Lion King. The opening of The Lion King is fantastic, and it's the whole Circle of Life scene, and that is just, I mean, come on. But the opening to this one is also really brilliant, and it's really good. I really enjoy it. So basically, Simba and Nala have had a child, Kiara. I don't know how to pronounce the name. That's how you pronounce it, Kiara. So then, basically, the story goes where there's like obviously the enemies as well, and it's this one here, Zira, I think her name is, and then Kovu. So Kovu and Kiara end up meeting, and they're supposed to kind of be like enemies, like Romeo and Juliet. Kind of. Okay, I don't know, that's a bit of a weird comparison, but anyway, they're like supposed to be enemies, and obviously, they kind of like each other, become friends, and then it shows them older, and it's a really good movie. I don't really know how to describe it, but I really loved it because it was from a girl's perspective too, because when I was younger, obviously Simba was the boy, and then this one came out and Kiara was a girl, and I was like, oh yeah. But it's a really cute, heartwarming movie, and it's got really good scenes. I like the villains, they're great. The songs in this one I love. It's not got really cheesy, rubbishy songs. The songs are actually pretty good in this one, I really like it. I just really love this movie. I think if you like The Lion King, you're probably going to like The Lion King too, but a lot of people probably don't give it chance or time of day. So if you haven't seen The Lion King 2, I recommend you kind of just keep your eye on it and check it out. I really enjoy it. I think the songs are great. Or just watch the opening, cause and then decide then. Like, type in opening Lion King 2, and it is really good, really impressive. And so if you think, oh yeah, okay, this looks like it's gonna be a good one, I recommend you watch this one. I really love it. So yeah, that's The Lion King 2. That's my first recommendation of the underrated movies. Next we have a different type of movie. I've tried to kind of have a bit of a mix here. Next we've got Country Strong. I love this movie. I watched this movie quite a little while back, and we've got Gwyneth Paltrow here, who is the main kind of character. But I will also just say, we've got Leighton Meester in this movie, and she is out of Gossip Girl, which you guys know now is my favourite show, but I actually only started watching Gossip Girl last year, and I'd seen this movie before I ever watched Gossip Girl, so I didn't watch it because she was in it, I just watched it because, well, I'm actually a big Gwyneth Paltrow fan. I think she's great, and I love country music and country themed things. I love movies about, like, country music and country stuff, and this is what this movie is about. If you like country music, you really want to watch this one, and if you don't, I think you still enjoy it. Basically, she's a singer and she's been in rehab, and she's been having lots of troubles, and she comes out and she's supposed to make like a new debut tour, and she's with Tim McGraw, I can't pronounce his name, Tim McGraw, and he's obviously the famous country singer, and he's in this movie, and he's really great too. And then she kind of, this girl here, who played by Leighton Meester, is supposed to like be her supporting act and on tour with her, but she's very, she's a good singer, but she's very, I don't know how to describe it, she's kind of like very, like, girly's a really bad stereotypical word to describe her. In the movie, I don't know how to describe her, I'm really sorry, but she's like, like prom queen, like, I don't know, you know what I mean. So they're like, okay, well, and then this boy here, Beau, he kind of comes into the picture, and Gwyneth Paltrow wants him to kind of be her opening act, and he's really great, and it's kind of about, like, she's now older obviously, and there's the younger ones there, and how she's going to deal with being back out in the world, on stage and stuff, and it's really, really, really great movie. I know I haven't given it justice, to be honest, in my explanation, but I just highly recommend this one. It's just a great movie about music and country and life, and I just love it. Please definitely check this one out. I really, really, really enjoyed this film. I've not really talked about it very much, and I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. So if you've seen this, let me know down in the comments below, but if you haven't, just give it a watch, check it out. And the next one I have, I don't think it's that underrated. I think this is probably the one that most people will have seen out of this list, but I think it's been out for a few years now. I think people will have forgotten about it now, and if you didn't see it at the time, it's one you're probably not going to go back and be like, oh yeah, I want to watch that, whereas I want to bring the light to it again. And it's Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. Now this movie I loved. When I first watched this movie, I watched it again and again and again and again. Now looking at the cover, it was something I was like, okay, this might not be my type of thing. I don't know why I bought it, to be honest. I just picked it up and thought, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this. And I loved it, so I was really surprised by this movie. So basically, it's a lot different than you might think it would be. It's a really heartwarming movie, actually, and it's about this guy who has to look after his son for like the summer or something, and they don't really have that good of a relationship, and it's like the whole father-son bonding thing. But then also, he used to be a boxer, and now they box with robots, so it's about big fighting robots, which is actually really awesome, and I love that too. And him and his son kind of try and like make a robot for this robot fighting stuff, and it's really, really, really sweet, but it's also really, really awesome. So it's kind of got the heartwarmingness, but it's also got big fighting robots, which is really awesome. So maybe if you are a male and you have a wife or a girlfriend, they would enjoy this one as well. So it's definitely one that is catered to both genders, because you know the guy is probably going to really like the big robots that are fighting, because it is really some awesome scenes there. And I think that as a girl, I thought it was a really sweet movie as well, which sounds weird. You wouldn't think that looking at this cover, but it definitely was. But I also enjoyed the fighting robots. I think everything about this movie I just really enjoyed. I just had a great time with it, and it was a great kind of action. It just had the right mix of everything, and I loved it. And the robot that they have, it's one of the things that you're rooting for the robot and stuff. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of movies. You're rooting for the underdogs, and I love it. So definitely check this one out if you haven't heard of it. Just give it a look up, and I think you'd really enjoy it. And like I say, I think it's a movie for everybody. But if you have heard of it, but you just kind of let it pass you by, maybe now it's probably a good time to, maybe you could pick it up, because it's now been out for a while, so it'll be a lot cheaper, and I recommend that you'd probably really enjoy it. So yeah, those were my 3 underrated movies picks. Thumbs up if you are enjoying these videos. I got quite a lot of good thumbs up on the last one, so I'm sure you guys enjoyed it, so I cannot wait to carry on with the series. It's definitely one that I want to do. I want to do these quite frequently, because there's so many movies that I think people need to know more about, and oftentimes people ask me, oh, what movies would you recommend? And so to do a video with 3 different movies I recommend, I think is a lot of fun and gets you guys to find out about different movies that you might not have otherwise. So check out The Lion King 2 if you're a Disney fan and always thought Disney sequels weren't the best. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Check out Country Strong if you like country music, or you just like movies about music in general, or you like Gwyneth Paltrow or anything like that. And check out Real Steel if you want an action movie that has some heart. And those are my 3 recommendations. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are a newbie, look forward to Underrated Movies 3. Can't wait to make that one. And don't forget to keep smiling, peeps, and I will see you then. Goodbye!